The movie opens with 3 students talking about girls. One student says that he's no longer interested in girls. Then the second student asks, "So what do you want now?" The middle student, Tony Berger, bursts out, "I'm now interested in Ontes. I've fallen in love with my school teacher, Mrs. Mary." At that moment, teacher Mary walks in. All the other START students seeing her because she is very beautiful and a hot teacher. Tony Berger openly confesses his love for his own teacher. Mary gets angry and scolds him in front of everyone. She punishes him by making him do chores at school for a month. But later, Mary secretly realizes that even though she scolded Tony in front of everyone, she actually accepts his love. She comes to meet Tony in class when he's chewing gum. Mary asks him to give her the gum because gum isn't allowed in class. Tony takes the gum out of his mouth and gives it to Mary. She puts the gum in her own mouth and looks at Tony carefully. Tony starts feeling that maybe Mrs. Mary likes him too, and it turns out he was right. Mrs. Mary takes Tony to her cabin, and their love story begins there. Soon Mrs. Mary starts giving Tony extra classes after school, and after school hours, they spend time together and express their love. Days pass like this. One day, there's a school function going on. Behind the stage, Tony and Mary are expressing their love. Nobody in the school knows about it. Suddenly, loud noises come from behind the stage, and everyone's attention shifts to the stage. When the curtain lifts, Tony and teacher Mary are caught in an intimate moment with a whole school watching. Mary feels embarrassed and quickly wraps herself in the school flag and runs away. But Tony doesn't care. He steps onto the stage, and all the boys start clapping for his act. Tony's name is loudly cheered, and even the teachers are happy with his boldness to everyone. Tony becomes like a hero because at his young age, he did something amazing with Mrs. Mary. Tony feels proud and raises his hand in victory after that day. Tony and Mrs. Mary become famous. Several months later, Mary's health deteriorates because of this. Tony and Mrs. Mary are summoned to court. When the judge learns that who Mrs. Mary is, she gets angry and sentences her to 30 years in prison. Mary starts regretting because she had understood Tony to be something, but he turned out to be something much more. When Mary is taken from court to prison, Tony shouts that he loves Mrs. Mary very much and will always wait for her. Because of this, Tony's father punches him and tells him to be quiet. Tony Berger has become famous. Boys of his age consider him a mentor. People start giving him money as gifts, and his personal life gets featuring interviews. Many years pass, and Tony becomes a very rich man. But after getting rich, Tony becomes a careless father. He stops taking good care of his son. One day, because of Tony's negligence, his son leaves him and goes away. A few days after his son leaves, Tony falls into debt. He has no money left. One day, his friend Gene, who is a lawyer, tells Tony that he has never paid taxes in his life, and now his tax debt has reached $40, $3,000. If Tony doesn't pay the government, he will have to go to jail. Hearing this, Tony started sweating profusely because he had only $20 left in his account. He didn't know what to do. He becomes angry and began smashing a chair nearby. Seeing this, Gene stopped him and said, "I'm going to tell you a way to make money." Then Gene showed him a picture of Fat Man. Gene explained, "This guy's been running a race, and if you bet on him, you'll make an $8,000 profit." Donnie likes the idea and puts $20 on the fat boy. Apart from this, Donnie wanted to earn some more money. So he goes to a producer with whom he had worked earlier, but he refuses to give him work because Donnie was famous earlier. But now no one knows him. Donnie still requests. Then the producer says Donnie will have the reunion with his teacher and son, and they will be shown on TV. In return, Donnie will get $50,000. Donnie agrees and starts looking for his son. He was sitting in a club when he sees a photo of his son in a magazine. He changed his name to Todd. He told everyone that his parents were killed in an explosion. He does not tell anything about his real parents to anyone. He's going to get married next week. Jamie's wedding will take place at Todd's boss's house. That's why with relatives, he goes to their house. When Donnie also reaches there, Todd gets shocked seeing him. He does not tell anyone that Donnie is his dad. He tells everyone that Donnie is his old friend. Todd gets very angry at Donnie's arrival. He asks him to leave. Donnie doesn't want to go. On the contrary, he tells Todd that you should meet your mom after going to jail. She is sick but Donnie flatly refuses. He does not want to have any connection with his parents. Donnie doesn't tell him anything about the TV show and then starts having fun with everyone in the beginning. Donnie seems very strange to everyone. Slowly, everyone starts liking him and enjoy a lot with him. But Todd doesn't like all this. Driven by his habits, he went into his son's father-in-law's room and started searching for some hot magazines. But there was nothing special there. Still, Tony couldn't fall asleep without seeing something. As he looked around the room, his eyes landed on a photo of Todd's mother's mom in her youth. He saw that the pictures of her younger self were very beautiful. Tony enjoyed looking at those photos and then gets tired and fell asleep. In the morning, the old lady came back to her room from a party. She saw that the room was a complete mess. All her clothes were scattered everywhere. She shouted on seeing Tony. Todd came there too. The old lady gave Tony a handkerchief and asked what was inside it. Todd lied, saying Tony had a cold, and told the old lady to go to the other room, promising he would take care of everything. The next day, the family went to a party. But when Tony arrived, he realized it wasn't a party. It was a massage parlor. Tony felt hurt by this, so he takes everyone to his favorite club. Everyone enjoys a lot here. He told everyone this is what real fun feels like. Todd also enjoyed being there. Todd drank a lot. Tony wanted to make his son happy somehow. And with all this, the relationship between Donnie and Todd also starts improving. Todd forgives Donnie, and Todd agrees to visit his mom as well, but Donnie refuses him because if Todd goes to meet his mom, then the TV show producer will also reach there. Seeing that Todd will feel that Donnie has done all this for the money. With great difficulty, everything is fine between them. When Tony entered his room, the old lady came in wearing a nightgown. Tony was surprised to see her. She said, "I know you enjoyed looking at my pictures that day, but today I've come to love you." Tony thought for a moment after seeing her, but his old habits still troubled him. So he mistook the old lady for a young woman and made love to her. Meanwhile, when Todd went to his room drunk, he didn't even realize he was making out with a mannequin. The next morning, Todd's fiancée started screaming in the room because Todd had thrown up rice pudding all over the bed during the night. The next day, Todd decided to go alone to visit his mother in prison. When Tony found out, he was shocked. This news also reached Randall, the reporter from the news channel. Everyone ended up going to the prison to see Madam Mary, hearing that her son had come to meet her. She walked out with a new sense of pride. Seeing her son made her incredibly happy. Mary still loved Tony too. From behind the glass, she began making loving gestures toward him. But since Todd was also there, the gestures didn't last long. Just then, Randall arrived with his camera crew and started recording the three of them. When Todd protested, Randall told him, "Your dad made a deal with me. He promised to reunite you with your mother in front of cameras for $50,000. I paid for this." Todd got furious with Tony and stormed out thinking his dad had sold him out. But in truth, Tony had never called Randall. Later, when Tony returned home, he saw Todd's fiancée talking flirtatiously on the phone with someone. This made Tony believe that she was cheating on Todd, wanted to protect his son. Tony went to tell him about Ginny, but as soon as he did, Ginny interrupted and said she had only been discussing a script idea with someone. She was planning a surprise for Todd. Todd once again misunderstood his dad and felt more ashamed of him than ever. Todd started thinking that his dad was just trying to break up his marriage. Tony was deeply hurt and decided he would go and apologize to Todd's mom, Mary. But just as he entered Ginny's room, he saw her making love to someone else. Tony quickly barged in and took a photo of them. Now, the truth about Ginny was out. Tony told her he was going to reveal the truth to his son. Terrified, Ginny offered Tony $50,000 to keep quiet. But Tony walked out without saying a word. The next moment, Ginny and Todd's wedding ceremony had already started. Tony, along with Vanilla Ice, rushed in to stop the wedding there. Tony told Todd to call off the marriage. Todd got angry and asked his father, "Why are you ruining my happiness?" Tony replied, "This girl has trapped many men. She even had an affair with your boss." At that point, Ginny lost her temper and confessed everything. Todd broke off the relationship and left as Tony was leaving. Todd's boss started mocking him. But Tony said, "I also hooked up with your mom." And the boss was left speechless. Now, Todd began to trust his father again. The next day, Todd tells Donnie that he will pay Donnie's tax, but Donnie refuses. Then Donnie's lawyer comes there and says the marathon race is on. So he turns on the TV. The fat boy on which Donnie had invested is almost a win. All those people together start cheering him. Finally, the fat boy wins. Donnie also wins $160,000. And with that, the movie ends. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our new videos. Thanks for watching.